Right, I have just come back from the land of Ire.
Oh.
I went to Ireland to get Eamon, only to discover that he'd already come here, so I had to go back. And I've just arrived back, and I've got more of an Irish accent. And they're selling Gerry Sweeney's Mammy. This is my book that's the libraries at home. It's very nice to go into a library and find yourself in a library. It's also in Guildford Library, and I'd run out of copies, and I had to do a reading, and I had to go and get myself out of the library in order to read. And I thought, oh yes, I'm taking myself out. Have you read this before? Yes, I wrote it. There you go. Now, this little fella here is Gerry Sweeney, and we've been friends since we've been born. 61 years of friendship. And my earliest memory of Gerry is we were having a fight. And I don't know what the fight was. It was about probably, I wanted to be George Best, he wanted to be George Best. There is only one George Best. So he ran off up the back of his house, long steps, and he stood at the top, and I stood at the bottom. And I didn't know what to say to him, and I looked at him like that. And Gerry picked up a brick, whoa, like that, and he threw it at me. And I was of an age where I thought, that's really interesting. That object, aided by gravity and speed and height, I thought, that looks like it's getting closer and bigger and bigger. And then it hit me. And it hit me. And it got me there, and I said, my God, look, blood, isn't that very interesting? I've never seen the inside of myself in blood before. And Gerry panicked. He thought, oh God, my mother will kill me because I've killed Donall. And I ran off bawling and said, what happened, Gerry? I said, I fell against the power station steps and I cut my head. So I was still his pal, and that was the first time I remember Gerry, my outer stage of memory. His mother was a lovely woman. That's why the book is called Gerry Sweeney's Mammy. And it was Gerry and Monica's 43rd wedding anniversary. My God. And they're a lovely couple, so I wrote a poem for them. Jan painted a picture of a daffodil, because this is about a daffodil. Last year, the daffodils came up, and we thought, lovely, isn't that nice, daffodils. Summer, the daffodils were still there. August, daffodils were still there. Going into winter, frost, the daffodils were still there. Snow, the daffodils were still there. And then it came around to January, the same daffodils, and they met themselves coming. Hey, spring again. So I thought that Gerry and Monica were like those ever-present daffodils. I made a mockery of Robert Herrick's poem, fair daffodils we weep to see, you haste away so soon. They didn't haste away anywhere, they just stayed there. So this is for Gerry and Monica, and it's called A Gift for Love, because that's what they have. Here, at the very edge of spring, your love begins. 43 years now, and counting. You two, the shining beacon of what being married is. Outside, the first daffodil rears its beautiful head, nods to the breeze that, yes, of course, it knows just whose anniversary this is. The sheer richness of such togetherness, the treasure of Gerry's laughter, the jewel of Monica's smile. I too, in love with how you love, I send you this daffodil, net of words. Thank you. Gerry Sweeney's Mammy. Again, I was of a stupid age where I didn't recognise that a brick getting nearer and nearer would actually hit you and crack your skull. That's what actually made me a poet, because I was just an ordinary person before that. A brick hits and I go, whoa, to be or not to, oh, like that. And I wake up, and I can't stop writing it. I go, what is this, what is this? So that's what it was. So I didn't know things like a brick could hurt you, or that I should have ducked, or anything like that. I also didn't know the facts of life. They just weren't exist. I never even guessed that there were such things. And I thought that Gerry Sweeney's Mammy was my mammy. I thought my mammy was my mammy. And I thought my Auntie Mary down in Cork was a mammy. And my definition of a mother was not biological, it was emotional. It was somebody who loved you to that degree that these three women did. Especially Gerry Sweeney's mammy. It wasn't gender-based either. My father was also the best mother you could ever see. And he loved you to that degree as well. And he was a brilliant father as well. So wow, I had a double whammy there. So I decided to write this for Mrs. Sweeney in praise of her. And I thought, if anybody should be celebrated, it should be Lizzie Sweeney. And I went home and I did a book and I did a poem. And they reminded me that Lizzie Sweeney was already famous. because when the lottery first came out in Ireland, they did something where whoever won the last ticket got to go up and be on telly and pull out something out of a thing, you know, that sort of thing. And they liked her so much because she had a lovely smile, gorgeous laugh, that soon Mrs. Sweeney was 3 billboards outside Dublin, probably Edinburgh as well too. And there was she with her head thrown back, with her great laugh, a 30-foot smile, and a billboard full of laughter. So, I'm afraid she was more famous than I thought. Gerry Sweeney's Mammy. Mrs. Sweeney was Gerry Sweeney's Mammy. And even though I had my own, I had her on loan. It was like having a spare Mammy. And even when she was mad with us, she just couldn't be mad with us. Go on, she'd grin, go on. You'd wear the heart out of a stone. And if you fell, and you were crying, your heart and knee badly grazed, badly bitten by a bee, she would hug you up with all of herself. Come here to me, you poor little dolt. Wrap you up in so much love, it would last for years, for years. Gerry Sweeney was my best friend ever. Way back in the way back then. Still is, nothing's changed. Except those young fellas have become our fellas, who still think they're young fellas. And every time I see him, I could almost cry. I can still see his mammy smiling out of his eyes. Thank you. Still keeping with the book. The back photograph, of course, is supposed to be a picture of the altar, but instead it's a picture of me and Gerry's back. Backs, rather, plural. And that was taken by John Smith of Newbridge. And John Smith writes poetry and he paints, and he's a great teller of tales altogether. Very energetic man, great fun. I listened to him for hours. There's a restaurant in Newbridge called Chat and Chew, and we go in there and indeed we chat and chew, and the Irish take 2 poets chatting and chewing together. That's good. So they don't throw us out or anything. So he was telling me this lovely story of how he became aware that his mother and father were people in their own rights. And I kept on saying to him, God, John, you better write that. That's a lovely poem. You better write that. 3 months later, oh, God, John, you better write that. John, if you don't write that, I'll write it. I'll steal it. So this is my stolen story. So it's called Crossing the River. I, a mere scrap of a young fella, watching father and mother argue the toss about something or other, making me wonder whether they really love each other. He always boss to her, she to him forever mother. And him always giving in with an, all right, you're always right. Still see myself messing about on the river with the Hammer Hannon, Wiki Warner and the Roo Murray, great pals all, when the ma and da appear out of nowhere. I seeing them not seeing me. He, shotgun under an oxter, his arm about her waist, 4 rabbits nonchalantly thrown over his shoulder. No longer mother and father, but Jim and Kathleen. They just themselves, their love and laughter. Sticks 2 woodbines between his lips, the scratch of a match as he lights up, places one between her lips, both puffing happily. Sunlight madly in love with water. The liffey here lies gently at their feet, tamed with time. Trousers rolled up to his knees, a breeze flirts with her dress. Quick as a flash, she jumps on his back, her legs sticking out between his elbows. All as easy as you please. He ferrying himself and herself, along with a load of rabbits, across the hurrying waters of the moment. A heron watches this strange human behaviour, shifts from one leg to the other, saying nothing. My question answered in a flash of kingfisher blue, my mind all water and light. Water and light. Thank you. Now, I picked a very bad time. I thought, oh, me Irish poems. I think I'll read a poem in Irish. And Eamon is a perfect Irish speaker, and now I'm highly embarrassed altogether.
Go on.
Because I could have fooled you and said, oh yeah, that's how it goes. But your man here will be correcting me every minute. No, that's wrong, that's wrong. So this is called Nidada, which means it's nothing. Tá mé ggóil dólas agus domlas. Tá an dónas earl a foot ar fud an down. Fecum amach an daba, bán anis. Fecum san inog, snat ag titim. Fecum sa scahan misha. Cé sin, Nílisacum. it's nothing. I'm drinking sorrow and bitterness. It's bitterly cold all over the world. I see my ring finger white now. I see in the window snow falling. I see in the mirror myself. Who is that? Who is that? I don't know. You write in a different language. You tell me after, all right?
What's fecking?
Huh? I see.
I see. How do you guys see anything and not crease on laughing?
And the verb is feck. Feckum as I see, feckin' two, feckin' che, feckin' cheek.
Oh,
Alright?
you'll be so happy.
Now my mother was a little girl down in Tipperary and her granny was rearing her and she was a good little girl and she had her Irish lesson and she wouldn't say feck. So she said, my granny said it's a bad word. So she was put in that corner for 2 hours, turned her back to the rest of the class, tears rolling down her face, refusing to say feck.